All right, guys, we got some more Tim Walz awesomeness here for you. So he went on MSNBC, and he unveiled a new attack against the right. Listen to this.
Well, look, you're seeing that. And this observation of weird came from people I know, my friends, my relatives, Republicans. Some of them that this is just awkward. They're awkward. And it stems from who's asking for this crazy stuff? Who's asking to raise the price of insulin? Who's asking to get rid of birth control? They do these focus groups or whatever. Who's sitting in a bar in Racine, Wisconsin saying, you know what we really need? We need to ban Animal Farm. Nobody is. They're talking about real things. So when these guys get in situations in front of real people and trying to pretend like they know what people are going through, they've got nothing to offer. And no one can picture them in their own lives. I brought this thing up that Donald Trump tries to mock Vice President Harris for laughing. And I made the point, you never see this guy laugh. You never see him do these normal things. Imagine when I go home at night, I pick up the Frisbee and throw it, and my dog catches it, he comes over, he gets the belly rub for being a good boy. Picture these guys doing that kind of stuff. They just can't. And what it allows us to do is, we hear you where you're coming from. And I made the pitch that I watched that rally in St. Cloud, Minnesota, where he lied about the election and lied about everything. But the thing that I thought was so joyful is, Kamala Harris is going to be there to provide reproductive health care to those women who were standing behind him.
She's got to pick him, man. She's got to pick him. He leans into, see, that's the brilliance of Tim Walz. He leans into it. Oh, are you going to attack me for doing universal breakfast for kids at school? You going to attack me for doing universal lunch for kids at school? Really? You sure you want to have that fight? I'm your Huckleberry, bitch. Come at me. Oh, I fed the kids of Minnesota. What a terrible monster I am, man. Like, this is the vibe. Like, what these guys, nobody wants what these guys want. They're out there, Project 2025 and J.D. Vance, they're saying we want to ban pornography. Who's yearning for that across America? There's nobody who's out there like, we need to raise the price of insulin. Well, Republicans voted against the bill that lowered the price of insulin. We're in favor of lowering it. They're in favor of raising it. Not a very difficult choice. Now, is it? Right? And then he does the thing about, hey, I go home, I play with my dog, give him a little belly rub, have fun. Can you try to picture Trump doing that? Trump ain't doing that shit. He's not a fucking normal guy, bro. He's not a normal guy. Oh, he's killing him. He's every single clip. He's killing him. He's killing him. Now, I do have to say, warning, we just got word Kamala Harris is going to announce her VP pick at a rally. The rally is in Philadelphia. That could be a bad sign because Josh Shapiro is the governor of Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. It leads me to believe maybe she picked Shapiro. Now, they are claiming, oh, no, we haven't picked yet. And also, people went through the history and found that there's never been a situation in modern American history where a vice presidential pick was announced in the state that they're from. So that might be a little ray of hope. She released a list of states where she's going to do rallies with her VP. And I will say, and I don't know how to interpret this, but Minnesota was not on that list of states where they're going to do rallies within the next 7 or 8 rallies, right? One way of looking at that is, well, if you pick the governor of Minnesota, you probably wouldn't need to do a rally in Minnesota. There was just a poll that had her up 10 points there. Even if you say that's an outlier, she's still up 5 points there, right? So they think, hey, if we pick Tim Walz, we got it in the bag. Minnesota's in the bag. And so then you wouldn't give a rally speech in Minnesota, and then maybe that's evidence it is Tim Walz. I don't know, but I'm driving myself crazy here because he's by far and away superior. I could live with Bashir. I could live with Bashir, but I'm at the point now where I'm just not Josh Shapiro. First of all, his dollar store Obama impression is driving me fucking crazy. The man has latched onto an identity and he refuses to let it go, and it's all an act. And it's one thing if you're a comedian or you're a commentator, you're a politician, and you latch on to a model of how you should act in the first year or so with your fucking training wheels. But at some point, the training wheels got to come off. He does a cheap Obama impression, and it's way too spot on, and it's disturbing, right? You're fucking, what is he, 50 years old? And you're copying another grown-ass man? Okay, but put that aside. It's more about his position on charter schools. He's in favor of charter schools. Don't like that. And it's about his position on Israel. He called pro-Palestine protesters. He compared them to the KKK. I'm sure all these Democratic governors are one degree or another of shitty on the issue of Israel, but he's particularly bad on the issue. Okay? So I don't want it to be Josh Shapiro. I really hope it's Tim Walz. And look, final point in this segment is this. Kamala needs Tim Walz, right? I'm expecting this election to have a lot of ups and downs. I am. Right now, Kamala's riding high. It's the honeymoon phase. I'm expecting it to have a lot of ups and downs, right? And we already have the first sign of her instincts are better than Biden's. I think that's clear. But they're still not good political instincts. They're not. How do I know that? Look at this. This is from the New York Times. Harris no longer supports Medicare for all. Also says she won't ban fracking, wants to increase funding for the border, and doesn't want to require people to sell their assault weapons back to the government. In addition to changing her position on fracking, campaign officials said she now backed the Biden administration's budget request for increased funding for border enforcement, no longer supported a single-payer health insurance program, and echoed Mr. Biden's call for banning assault weapons, but not a requirement to sell them to the federal government. So look, parts of this I could live with. I could live with the ban assault weapons, but don't do a gun buyback. I can live with that. I can understand that everybody in this political climate is going to say, let's do increased border funding. The question is, do you pair that with some sort of deal for the dreamers and the people who've been here for years, who are good Americans, basically, who are, living right, paying their taxes, productive, etc. I could live with some of those things. What I can't live with is now I'm against Medicare for all. Why? Because it shows you're scared. It shows you actually don't have the political instincts that Walz has. When Walz hears, oh, Republicans are attacking me because I did universal breakfast and lunch for kids at school, he's like, oh, yummy in my tummy. Yeah, motherfucker, I support that. You don't? You don't support that? What a freak you are. That's Walz's instinct. Kamala's instinct is, do you still support Medicare for all? No, me, bro? I don't want to give everybody health care, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's far left stuff, bro. I don't agree with that, bro. It means you're scared of your own shadow in fighting these Republicans. That's not okay. The correct answer is, do you still support healthcare for everybody? Of course I support healthcare for everybody. You don't? Who wouldn't? What kind of monster wouldn't? We have fucking trillions of dollars for the military and endless war, but we don't have enough money to give healthcare to Americans? What are you, crazy? She needs Tim Walz. She needs Tim Walz to balance out those horrible political instincts. She does. Like I said, her instincts are better than Biden's, but Biden's are sort of uniquely bad. But she needs somebody like Walz. If you have somebody who feeds into this bullshit, like be scared of your own shadow nonsense with the Republicans, then it's not a good trajectory heading into the election day. You want somebody like Walz who's ready for the fight, knows how to handle it, and can easily jujitsu their asses back into place and make them look as crazy as they are. Kamala clearly, look, the way to handle this is to be like, of course I support healthcare for everybody. Why wouldn't I? Right? And if you want it to sound more moderate, you say, look, I'm open to different pathways to get there, whether it's a public option or single-payer healthcare system or Medicare for all, where it's public money but private providers. I'm open to different ways to get there, but of course I want to give everybody healthcare. It would be crazy not to. Every other developed country has healthcare for everybody. Why the fuck shouldn't we? That's how you handle that. And honestly, I think that's how Walz would have handled it, because all the evidence so far is that that's how he handles questions like that. So she needs him. She needs him. For the love of God, Kamala, do the right thing. One can only cross their fingers and hope now, but I will say this. The Democratic Party never fails to let me down, so I'm fully expecting her to not pick Tim Walz. God, I hope I'm wrong. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much. Everybody do me a big favor. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps out big time. It costs you nothing. Thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. If you'd like to hook a brother up, that link is below, or you could tip with the thanks button on YouTube. That's below as well. Remember, I don't talk to advertisers, so you guys help fund this show. I could not do it without you, so please consider $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever it is. All right, guys, I'll see you on the show tomorrow. Much love. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.